Hi, good morning. My name is Corey Thorne. I am a spiritual healer, teacher, and of all things, I'm a human. This message this morning I did not want to do live because I did not want to bring in the energy of the outside. I wanted to stay in the connection of my channel to the divine and to the essence of Mother Mary, who is channeling through a message of transformation and a message from many who are in the spirit world. As I sat today in the middle of laying out the More Than Existing book and how I would project this message and the why behind why I start to write this book. With the passing of Kobe Bryant a few days ago, it was a shakeup. It's devastating. It brought the awareness of how fragile it is to be a human and how the most valuable commodity that we have in this world is our breath. And the moment that we take those breaths, the moments we have to take those breaths, and that every moment counts. And how we neglect our human, how we mistreat other humans. My message, my book, started when I realized that I was neglecting me. And this is not about the book. This is not about even promoting the book. It's about how or why we need such a big bang, that we need a passing of somebody who's on that level to shake people up. He passed on the day of the Grammys. He passed on the day of a show that I used to enjoy watching, which I've come to not like. I used to enjoy the music, but when the music turned into angry speeches and talks and projecting out an anger into the world, that wasn't a message of love. It was a message of hate towards one specific person who, whether you love, hate, I don't care. It's not about the political part. It's about the human part. This is a message about what happens when we spread hate, what happens to the children of the person that we're spreading the hate about. When we look at the moments of lives, the moments in our lives that we've projected out an angry word towards somebody, what was the ripple effect? Or when we continue to carry hate in our hearts for a moment of a disagreement that should never have been what it was. Think of who you were when that happened. Think of where that person was in their lives. Everybody is here trying to do the best that they can. Are there people that are just not nice people? Yes, there is. But that should not take us away from the essence of who we are as human beings. We can feel the anger, and part of More Than Existing was waking up to be able to feel, to actually feel, instead of being numb, instead of being stuck in a comfortable instead of making the uncomfortable, how's it coming through? Making the uncomfortable comfortable by staying in uncomfortable situations, until unhealthy relationships, until it makes us fucking miserable, until there's nothing left of us. By staying in conversations, friendships, whatever it may be, and listening to the anger, spreading nasty words. What we project out vibrates. When we want change, let's do it with love. Because we can't reel back in what we've already done. We can't take back what's already been put out there. And if it was, let's say, If it was someone you didn't like, I'm going to use the big magnitude of what you see vibrating throughout the world with the Donald Trump story. What if something happened to one of his children out of anger? Would you put that person up on a cross and parade him through as an example of not nice people? Or would you have compassion and love for that person? Think about that. Think about what we see happening in the world when we turn angry. I know personally what angry attacks feel like. I know what it feels like to have your words turned around and repeated through mouths of people who are not in good places. I can tell you from the message I'm receiving this morning, from what I feel in my heart, is that I live now in a place, and it's taken a long time to get here, that my heart feels as if it is expanding with love. As a medium, as someone who has that connection to the spirit world, as an awareness that I'm a spirit, they're a spirit, that this human shell, this human body meat suit that we live in was a gift. We were given this body to create. We were given this mind, this human mind, this whole human experience to experience it. And yes, we've had to face the good, bad, and the ugly. But because you've seen ugly, don't mean you should become ugly. What made that person ugly? What made that person feel the way they feel? What happened to them as a child? So many things that transpire within our lives, within time. And I'm not saying that I agree with those angry people. I'm not saying that that bad behavior has ever been acceptable or that we should make it acceptable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to live, to enjoy every moment. We have forgotten. There was a time when every day, as everything was beginning, as everything was evolving, where every day was a struggle. Every day was unknown. Armies of attack coming in, beating in your doors. You didn't know. Well, that still happens in the world. If you are among the people that get to live in peace and not in a war-torn country, not in a country of famine, then you are blessed. If you have a roof over your head, a warm place to go, then you are blessed. And because you have that, because we have these opportunities, because we were blessed to be able to be living where we are and to be who we are, that gives us an even bigger opportunity to reach out to be a help. Reach up, go back to prayer, ask, how can I be of service today? What is one good thing that I can do today? First for myself, and then for somebody in the world, or for the world in general. Make a change by starting with your words that you speak to yourself. Stop telling the stories that place you in self-sabotage. Stop punishing yourself. Stop looking at everybody as if they're your enemy. Look at everybody as if you are looking at another spirit of love. Because inside of each and one of us, that spirit inside of us, it never needed perfecting. It never needed enlightenment. It needed nothing. It was perfectly fine. The human behavior, the human actions, that's where we needed change. And that's where we need to start to make a change. You have the opportunity to start with you. We can't change the world, but we have a choice to choose to not be in the voice of anger, to be in the projection of anger, or to be the anger. We have a right to feel angry. Of course we do. We have a right to use our anger as jet fuel to turn it into desire, to become even more love again, to project more love out there. Because we are here to feel. And we know what's right, and we know what's wrong. And as a school system, as a work environment, I don't care where you are, projecting out your own personal views of how you think the world should be run, instead of opening the minds to go discover. What is your view? What do you feel? What do you think? Give those generations a voice, an opportunity, instead of conditioning people to the fear, to the anger. Let's start conditioning to the love. Let's start conditioning to the light. Let's start believing again. Let's start having faith. And that faith starts with faith in you. That you are a beautiful light. And that no matter of the conditions of your past, of what has happened to you in the past, that you still have a choice to live in the love and the light of today. Because if you are here living in not living because you have had trauma in the past, then you are throwing away the gift. I live now for myself because this is a golden opportunity that I have been given, is to live, to breathe, to speak, to feel, to communicate, to make connections, to love. And if you are not, I can guarantee you, your loved ones are here always telling you, live for me. Live for the opportunity I did not get to live. Because the biggest message that I ever get to convey back is I wish I had of. I wish I had not been afraid. I wish I had not gotten stuck. They come with messages of forgiveness. I'm sorry I wasn't the person you needed me to be. I'm sorry I wasn't the person I needed myself to be. I made a choice a couple years ago to turn off the news. To turn off the angry voices that were trying to condition me to their view, and chose to start to read the written so that I could hear my own voice. And I would read the news of what I wasn't agreeing with and what I was kind of agreeing with. And I would listen to the views through their writing. And I would know in my own heart what felt right. And as we're just coming through the candlelight vigilant of the Holocaust and what had happened there. What happens when we allow one view to be all that a society can hold on to or think is right? We are here to be unique. We're here to be able to allow the uniqueness of us all to have a voice, to listen with compassion, to be kind to each other, to honor each and every human, upon this earth. And do I know what's right? Do I know what's wrong? For my own personal views, for my own personal code of ethics and integrity? You're damn right I do. Do I know what's going to be best for this world? No. But I do know that this Mother Earth is stronger than we'll ever be. And that she doesn't need us to be planting seeds of anger. She needs us to be planting seeds of love. And that this universe is so much bigger than the one dimension that we keep sticking ourselves in of misery, suffering, struggles. And this world is yours to create. You have a choice. You choose happiness and joy on the inside, as I made a choice to do the day I woke up and said, I am done. Was the day I signed myself my personal contract that I would choose happiness and joy, and no matter what the cost, I was going to choose a life that was more than existing. And it started with looking in the mirror. And then it started again, once I could look in the mirror and face myself, was to look in the eyes of the people in my life. Through the eyes, I could see through the soul. And I could see past some of the human behaviors, and to the child who was still trying to be just enough in somebody's life. To the child who just wanted to be heard. To the voice that became suppressed. To the voice that did not have an opinion. To the human child who was told what was right or what was wrong, but was also told the conditioned fears and old beliefs of how awful and bad the world was, or how awful and bad people are. Who has heard that the rich people are just out to get you? Or who have heard you can't trust anybody? I have, and I'm sure you have. Today, as we start to come to the end of January 2020, 2020 is a year of transformation. And as I spoke a few days ago, I seen this again this morning, a crack in the foundation. What I teach is about going back. You can build as many empires as you like, but every empire will crumble if we do not make the foundation strong enough to sustain the empire of your life. And when I seen the crack in the foundation this morning, I knew things are about to fall. The empire of anger and hate that we have been projecting, hoping for change, is about to fall. And on the other side, you will find a lot less people living there, living in that place. And you'll find a lot more living on the other side, searching, seeking out happiness and joy. Because this program, this book, these messages that I get to convey are of that. And if for one moment you just thought of judging me, or judging what I do for a living, or that I say I communicate a message from Mother Mary. Who am I to do that? Then you need to go look in the mirror. Why not me? Why not you? I made a choice to live a life of more than existing. I made a choice to look in the mirror. I made a choice to change me. My hope, my desire, the jet fuel of how angry I had to become at myself, that jet fuel, that desire, is to see a change, that we start to honor our human, that we start to enjoy every moment, that we make a commitment of loyalty to our partners and to ourselves and to the contract of the life that we chose to live. You can be a change in your life, and you can be a change in the world by smiling, by looking into somebody's eyes today and just saying, I see you. Instead of bumping past somebody shoulder to shoulder as you're walking through the busy streets, when you bump them, I'm sorry. Say good morning. Let's stop just walking past each other. Let's get out of our phones. Let's get back to the human connection. Let's start to feel the human connection again. Let's start to feel alive. Let's start to live. Let's start to believe there's more to this world than you are seeing, that we are seeing. Start to believe in miracles. Start to believe in the power of prayer. And I don't care what you believe in. That prayer can be a meditation. It can be a thank you. There is something more than us. And we are something more than this little bubble we have placed around ourselves. Today, make a choice to more than exist. And as I return to my writing in finishing the book that has been 11 years in the making, I realized that I am so thankful that I did not put this book out 11 years ago, for it would have been a projection of anger. It would have been spoken from an angry version of myself. Today I can write from a place of love, from a place of a much happier state of mind, of forgiveness, of being able to look at everyone who has been in my life, who has impacted my life, with a new view. For the spirit in me can now see the spirit in them. And they were all here trying to do the best that they can do with the knowledge they had. A broken child becomes a broken adult. An inspired child can change the world. As a healthy, radiant, beautiful adult, what do you want to raise? One who is fearful of the world and fearful of the humans, and portraying messages of fear and judgment, or one that speaks of a place of love. Start with the inner child of you. Speak to her with love. Send her back into the playground and let her play. and allow your adult of who you are today to be the voice of who you want to be tomorrow and who you want to see your children become as a future generation of inspiration, love, hope, and most of all, faith. Plant seeds of love today by saying hello, by reminding people you love them, and by just being present in this very moment. I send you all much, much love. And I send much love out into the world. Please, today, take one step into the movement of more than existing. Much love.